it's the following day now, and I'm sticking with the bees. So the bees for Bridget Jones, said that one, but it's also for Bobby Dog, who is basically, we got her pretty much similar time when I got my diagnosis, so she's been with me all that time, and it's coming up to 8 years this year, and I've done, do you know what, I've done well. I've had 8 years, but I'd like another 8 if you don't mind. So B is for Bobby, Bridget Jones, other things, book as well. When I get home today, I wrote a book called The Boy with the Thick Skin Coat, which is for 6 chapters probably. It's a bit autobiographical, and it's all right. It's not a bad read. You quite like it but then the next 6 chapters, I wrote in quite a bit of a rush. I think I thought I was going to die, so I just pumped this 6 chapters out in 6 days, and it's not that good, and I don't want to do things half-arsed, and things have changed as well. We grow up, feelings and outlook, we grow up, so I'm going to do a 2nd edition. So when I get home from here, after me walk, I'm going to start putting it in some order. Firstly, just edit the first 6 chapters, change the introduction, and then I'll get into, I'll actually have to rewrite the sort of back end 6 chapters, and maybe add another 1 or 2, because 8 years is a long time for things to happen, and I've changed. My outlook has changed. So the book will change, and it's therapeutic actually. I like it. It's therapeutic writing about. I think that's why Bill Wilson, told all the people to write stuff down, because it's not necessary, but it is therapeutic when you can see the words in writing. I mean, you can sometimes when you're talking, you can't spot your own bullshit, but when it's written down, you think, oh my God, that's not me. So we're going to have a bit of a rewrite of the book. One of I think an important B that I thought I need to talk about is I'm talking about alcoholism. Blackouts are very important to talk about, and what's he called? Robin Williams. Yeah, Robin Williams. He's amazing. His description of the alcoholic mind is amazing, and he sort of describes a blackout as his conscience going into the witness protection program, and like your conscience sort of sees what's coming, knows what you're going to do, and basically says, see it, I'm off, and turns the lights off because it's going to be bad and you're going to do something terrible. He says, you're going to fuck a hobbit, I'm off. And that's what I believe. My conscience has a sort of shut off, a switch, if you like, to protect my self-esteem, but allows it to go on drinking. Anyway, so blackouts. I had lots of blackouts, although I wish I had more, because my drinking was bad. But I can remember one, everyone knows this who knows me, it's sort of my famous, you know what, Gary, that's the punchline. And people who hardly know, who have probably seen years ago don't really know me, but they know, you know what, Gary? So, yeah, the story goes that I got a gyro. I was in a homeless hostel I was in my late teens, probably. And I was in a homeless hostel in Withington. And by ineptitude or by mistake, they sent the rent check to me instead of my personal benefits, sort of off the social. They sent me the rent to this homeless hostel, and it was made payable to me. So it was about £792, about exactly, and it was to cover the rent for that fortnight or that month. I don't know. Anyway, I think I was on about £27 a fortnight, so it was a massive uplift to what I usually got, and I knew it wasn't right. I knew it wasn't for me, but I went and cashed it, and I went and washed my clothes in the laundrette in Withington, Stonburton Road, and I bought, there was Victoria Wines next to the wine shop, or next to the laundrette, and I bought a bottle of Moet and Chandon for like 12 quid, and they had little plastic cups for the detergent in the laundrette, and I was drinking my champagne out of these plastic cups. I was sat there watching me jeans and all that dry and wash, and it was a summer's day, and I thought, it just doesn't get much better than this, you know. You were allowed to smoke in public then, so I was having a smoke. I was drinking champagne, and I was thinking, my life is pretty good. It can't get much better than this, I don't think, anyway. So I set off on a mammoth adventure, a bender. And I didn't intend to set off on a bender. It just ended out that way. And intermittently, I came around. Most of it was in Blackout. It was a week, near enough, in Blackout. But I came around initially in Didsbury. There was a sort of little bit in Didsbury where I sort of hijacked this kid, Gary, to come on this bender with me. And then the next time I came round was in Chester, and the priest or the monks or whatever at Chester Cathedral let us have a shower in the cathedral, because we were sort of a couple of nights out, and I was stinking a bit, and he let us freshen up, have a shower. Good on them. God bless them, Catholics. They're good, some of them. And he proceeded on. Next time I came round, it was like, I can remember being in a shop at Victoria Wines, and they had all the Bandit screens and all that, and I was saying, I'll have that, and I'll have that, and I'll have that, and she was putting it in bags, putting it sort of near the hole in the counter. They have a sort of plastic safety glass thing, and I said, and I'll have a bottle of that right at the back. So she went for the bottle of that, and I ran off with about £100 worth of booze and 200 cigarettes as well, and shot off up the road. And I can remember drinking that. There's other stuff, but I was in Rill then. So I got from Manchester to North Wales. Don't know. I can't remember any of that. But I ended up sort of there. And then the next thing, I came round and I was in a skip outside a hotel in Colwyn Bay. Richard Croft, who tells his story better than me, says it was in Rill, but it wasn't. It was in Colwyn Bay. We'd moved on from Rill. they were refurbing like a bed and breakfast hotel on the front. So outside was a skip, and it had all the carpets and this, that, and the other put in this skip. So I was wrapped up in carpet and all sorts of stuff, and this other kid was there with me. And he had 2 bottles of sherry, bottle of cider, and 20 Benson and Hedges. And I came round. It's not like coming round waking up, but it's a little bit like that. But I came round. Sorry about that. The battery went just at the vital time. So I'll have to finish the story myself. So I came round and I was in this skip with Gary, with me booze and me cigs. And I can remember just taking a drag of me cig, thinking life couldn't get much better than this. And the wind was howling off the Irish Sea, and you know, it was just hanging. And I turned to Gary and I said, do you know what, Gary? Some people would go under these circumstances, but not me. And that's the end of the story. But the moral of the story, if you like, is it was about blackouts, and but the big moral of the story, it was about denial, because that was a sequence of blackouts that led to me being in a skip tramp, basically, in North Wales, dossing, and being completely in denial of the fact that I was a teenage alcoholic, and I was dragging another teen with me. So it was, it was a salutary lesson of denial, because I couldn't hit rock bottom, because I had this massive framework of denial that told me that I was like Rambo and I could manage any situation that I was in if I had a drink in me. When I didn't have a drink, that was a different story, and we'll get on to that. We'll get on to fear and living life sober. But the next one, this was about B, blackouts. The next one is about D, denial, which is the main presenting feature of alcoholism, and it's a doozy. Sorry about the battery going, but we'll sort that out. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow.